Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you guys a web developer starter kit that I've created for you guys. Now every single year I try to create a new one, right, just to give you all of the cool things, things like Gulp, live reload, things like Webpack 4, SAS, everything that you need basically to get up and running without you having to go and spend the hours it takes to build all these things. So I basically build it for you guys. Now, if you're interested in this, watch this video. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, you need Node.js. Now, if you are on Mac, I recommend installing Node.js through Homebrew. So you go to Homebrew, which is brew.sh, and literally copy this. Okay, put it in your terminal, paste it in, and press enter. What that's going to do is going to actually install Homebrew. Now, I already did this, so I'm not going to do it again. Now, the next thing, once it's installed, all you have to do is come here and say brew install node. And that will install the latest version of Node.js in your computer. All right. Now, once you are done with those two things, right, those two little simple things, right, once you got Node.js installed, I want you guys to install Gulp. And to do this, right, in either in the same tab or in a new tab, you come here and you say npm, right, and before that, just check the version you have, see if you have the latest version, right. And once you do that, you say, okay, npm install, and then you're gonna say gulp-g. So that's gonna install Gulp in your global environment. Okay, then you're gonna say npm install -g webpack. Okay, so that installs Webpack. Then you're gonna come here and say npm install -g webpack CLI. Okay, and that's pretty much it. All right, once you do that, then what I want you guys to do is come here to this URL, github.com/codingphase.com, which is codingphase.com/starterkit2019. All right, then from there, what you're gonna do, you're gonna come here, click on download. All right, you download the zip. Okay, you open it up, automatically is unzipped. You could come here, rename this as, let's say, put this arrange by date modified. Okay, so now come here, click at starter kit. Now, what I do recommend is to always download a new version of the starter kit, meaning every single time that you about to start something up, literally come here and download it again or clone it, because every single day, every single week, I try to add new features to it. Okay, so then from there, what you want to do is you're gonna double click here. Okay, change this to starter. Okay, starter kit, or whatever project you want to name it. So let's say, I don't know, React project. Now, I recommend having all of your projects on your home directory. Okay, so to do this, you're gonna come here to any folder, right? Open this up, go to your MacBook, right, or your Mac Pro. Okay, and then from there you're gonna click on main, then you're gonna go to users, then you're gonna go to your name, right? So it should be just like that. All right, and then from there you're gonna create a folder here called projects or called code. For me, I have two things. I have projects folder, and then I have a code folder, which is my personal folders. Okay, then from there, let's put this here on projects, and I'm gonna put this React project inside of there. All right, now the reason why I do that is so now for anywhere on my computer, I could open up my terminal and literally go like this, say cd, then you put in this, right? And then from there you come here, putting /projects, and then from there go into the React project, which is what we just created, right? That's our starter kit. Now that we're in there, all we have to do is say npm install. And then from there, it's going to install everything that you need for this project. All right. Now, of course, I also have some of the instructions here where you could literally find this out. You know, npm install gulp-g, npm install webpack, webpack CLI. Okay, so you should be fine. All right. Now, this thing might take a little while, but now it's pretty fast. Okay, so cool. Now we're here, and then now to get this started, all you have to do is say npm run watch. Okay, it started your webpack, started the gulp, and then from there everything is running. And as you can see, it's gonna say localhost 3000. Okay, and just in case you have another program, either Node or let's say PHP or any type of server already running on localhost 3000, if it's now on localhost 3000, it's gonna go to the next one, which might be localhost 3002. Okay, so let's come here, localhost, right, colon 3000. All right, and there you go. If you see this, that means everything is working for you and you are good to go. Now let's look inside of the web developer starter kit. So I'm going to go here, I'm gonna press Control-C, and I'm gonna say Atom dot, and what that's going to do is gonna open up a project within Atom for that folder. Okay, so there you go. So you can see it says React project. Now if you don't have this, right, if you don't have Atom, all you have to do is go to whatever text editor you have, click on File, Open, right? You go to your home directory, which should be the name of your computer. Okay, then from there find the location where you put it in, which was projects. Okay, click on projects, then you're gonna see React project. Okay, or whatever you named it, could be starter kit, could be whatever project you name that project. So then from there, click on File, Open. All right, and here you go. All right, cool. So now let's take a look at all the folders. Okay, so first of all, we have the assets folder. So this is where you have your files that have not been compiled yet, meaning your JavaScript, right? Your JavaScript that you might be using, ES6, ES7, ES8, ES9, whatever comes out next, right? And then you're gonna have all of those files here. And if you have components for React, Vue.js, Polymer, whatever it is, you're gonna put it in here. Okay, now if you have some things like Sass or Less or whatever you decide to use, right, we're gonna have it inside of a SCS folder. So this is where your styles are gonna be. Okay, so currently we have a styles.css and we have a reset.css. All right, so from there we have the node modules folder. Now node modules, these are all the dependencies that come with this starter kit. To be able to run all of these features, we need to do a npm install, and once we install all of those dependencies, they go inside of this node modules. Technically, you don't have to worry about that folder at all. Okay, then from there we have a public folder. So then in this public folder is where all of your files that get compiled, they're going to be sent inside of this dist folder. Okay, and here you're gonna have your components, whatever the file might be. You're also gonna have your styles, which is like your regular CSS, and then of course you're gonna have different things like your vendors, which are like libraries that you might use, you know, maybe jQuery, maybe React, maybe Redux, maybe Vue.js. They're gonna go within this. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna have here is an image folder, and that's where I just put the logo of Coding Phase. So it's up to you if you want to use it like that. All right, but just letting you guys know that whatever you have here is gonna get compiled inside of this folder, and every single time it does this, don't put anything that you don't want to lose, because every single time that it compiles everything, this folder gets deleted and all the files inside of it gets deleted, right? So then once it gets compiled, it gets created again. So make sure you don't put any files in here that you do not want to lose. Okay, in the sense of whatever is not inside of here in your assets, don't put it inside of your disk, okay? Because you will lose that file. Okay, so now the next thing that we're gonna look at is basically we have a Babel RC, which is just different presets that we have for basically for compiling our JavaScript and getting the latest things to work with our starter kit. Then from there we have a git ignore. So basically when you come here and you say git push to your GitHub, the only folder that's going to be ignored is the node modules. Everything else is going to get pushed. All right, so now we have the Prettier RC, which is just settings for formatting with Prettier, if you guys want to use that. Then from there we have the Gulp file, which I'm gonna skip for now and we're gonna come back to it, but let's go into the package.json. So in here is where you have all of your dependencies for this project, right? And if you guys want to add some dependencies, you could add it directly through here. At the same time, we have the scripts. Okay, so pretty much we have a couple of different scripts. We have the test, which currently right now we don't have anything set up, but then later on probably gonna add something like jest or some type of testing library. All right, now we have the dev, which is for our dev environment. This is what Gulp is gonna run for every time that we do a npm run watch. And we have the build. So this is for production. This is when you're ready to push out to the world and you're like, okay, I'm ready to launch this website. You run the Webpack build. Okay, and we have the npm run watch, which basically just runs Gulp, and we're gonna go into that right now. Okay, so let's go into the Gulp file. So Gulp is a task runner. You give it a couple of tasks and you put it in the order that you want it. Okay, so if we look into this, we see that we have by default, we're running Webpack and then browser sync. So then if I come down here, you can see that the Gulp task Webpack, all it does is says npm run dev, okay, which we set up on the scripts. And then up here we have the browser sync, which is where we set up a server. So we're basically saying, hey, browser sync, I want you to run a server on this folder, which is our public folder. So anything that's inside of this public folder is going to get treated as part of the server. Meaning, let's say you have google.com and then anything that's inside of that folder, then that will be running in there. Okay, so if you have your index.html, your css, everything that you want is going to be running in that server from that folder. Now if we look at this on the Gulp watch, what this basically means is we're looking at this folder of assets, right? If anything changes within any folder inside of assets or any file within the assets folder, we're going to run the Webpack command, okay, which is just npm run dev, right? So then from there, we're also watching all of the public folders. All right, we're saying, hey, if there's any changing within the public folders, then we want to do a reload, and that's about it. So let's jump into the other files that we have here. So we have another file called postcss.config. So this is just for us to tell postcss to do all the prefixers for our CSS. Then from there we have our readme file, which is just the instructions. You can always change this for your project. Then over here we have our webpack.config.js. Now I know it could look a little bit overwhelming. You're like, wait, what the hell is going on? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna break it down pretty simple. Okay, so let's start with our CSS. All right, so we do have the option to use CSS or use Sass. So the way how we are able to bring in Sass or CSS is by importing the files. So technically we have our CSS inside of our Sass folder, okay, and then inside of our JS folder we have a file called styles.js. So technically you need to have a JavaScript file import your CSS. So for us, I decided to just say, hey, let's create a file called styles.js where we actually import our CSS through here. Okay, so we say import SCSS styles.css. Okay, and there you go. So from there, Webpack will handle it, and then basically at the end, put it here in the distribution folder, which is the dist. Okay, and then it will convert it to a regular styles.css. All right, now of course you don't need the styles.js file. You could literally import it. I don't know, let's say you have inside of your let's say your first component of React, you could import it here at any moment, right? It's up to you. Me personally, the way how I like it, I like to separate it and say, okay, I have a styles.js, but that's my option, right? That's my choice, and you guys can change this at any moment. It's up to you. All right, so as you guys can see, we have the entry points. So this is the names that we give the entry points. So we could say, hey, this is called styles. This one's called first comp. This one's called main. All right. Now, the reason why I gave it those names is because later on, those are the names that the files are going to be given. So for example, right here, I say first comp, which is first component. I'm bringing in from assets.js components, the first comp.js, which is a component from React. Okay, we're bringing this file in. And then from there, what's happening is that at the end is going to output that file inside of the public/dist by the file name. Okay, so and this name comes from here. Okay, so just reminding you guys, whatever you name it here, that's going to be the name of the file itself. All right, then from there we have another one, which is basically the main, just regular a regular JavaScript, just for us to try things out. Now you could always change this, you could always delete this and say, okay, I don't want none of this stuff. You delete whatever you want, right? It's up to you. But like I said, you have the name of the file here, and then from there you put in the location of those files that you want to import. All right, and then out here it just tells you, hey, what's the name of the folder that you want to put it in. Okay, for me, I wanted to put it in public/dist. Okay, and that's what I did here. All right, you guys can always change that. Now from there we have here some loaders. So what we're saying is run Babel loader. Okay, so this gives us the option to use ES6, ESNext, whatever comes up. Okay, we have prettier loader, then it just makes it nice and pretty, your JavaScript. Then from there we have here styles loader. So now we're able to load our CSS. Okay, we minify it. You know, we use Sass loader, post CSS loader. So we got the prefixers. So there you go. That's what we have. Then from here we have clean Webpack plugin. What this does is it basically deletes whatever is inside of this folder. Okay, it deletes the folder itself actually, and then every single time we run either npm run dev or npm run build or gulp watch, it deletes that folder and puts in the new files that got compiled. So just in case you miss it, look over here. I'm gonna do npm run dev. You're gonna see disappears. Once it finishes, it comes back, right? So it basically deletes a file. So like I told you guys, make sure you don't put in files in there that you're gonna be changing. Okay, so that's my advice. Okay, now from here what we're going to do is we're gonna continue going down, and as you can see here, we have this minify CSS extract plugin. So then from there we actually put in the name of the file how we want it. So we calling it styles.css. Okay, you could change it to main.css, whatever you want, is up to you. Okay, from there we scroll down. This is just optimizations, things that you can do. All right, now as you guys can see, basically there's two different things. There's the dev and there's production. Okay, so if I'm gonna show you right now dev. So I'm gonna say npm run dev. Okay, we're gonna run this, give it a second, and as you can see, this is the sizes, right? So I mean, look at this one. This one says 828, right? Now that's for the def. Now we're gonna say npm run watch, which is pretty much the same thing as def. All right, I'm just showing it to you guys so you can see the difference. Okay, and as you can see, we are also running the Gulp watch, and that's why it gets stuck there. It's just waiting for us to do any changes. Okay, now as you can see, we got the same sizes. Now press Control C to stop it, and then now we're gonna do npm run build. So this is for production. Okay, and there you go. Sizes are different. It's way smaller now. Okay, now I'm gonna do npm run def one more time just to show you guys the difference of files. Okay, if I go into our first comp, this is how the files look. Okay, and even our vendors. All right, this is how it looks. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna run one more time npm run build, show you guys the difference, how the file looks. So now this is for production. Now this file is compressed, right? It's minified and everything is there to save you space and just ready for production. All right, so that's the difference. All right, guys. Now I want to let you guys know also too that when you're working with JavaScript, all right, this does have tree shaking set up. It has everything already set up for you. Okay, and it has the chunks set up. So what does that mean? So let's say, for example, if I have here React, right, and I have one component here which uses React and is using the component within React, right? So okay, so this is one component. I'm going to select all of this, copy this. I'm going to create another file here. So I'm going to say second comp, right? .js. I'm going to paste this in, call this second comp. Okay, scroll down, put this second comp, save that. All right, and then now I'm gonna go into my webpack.config. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say second comp. Name this the second comp to comp. Okay, and I'm going to run npm run build, and it does the same thing for the dev too. Now if we look here, we have first comp, second comp. Now you'll see that we have a file called vendors, first comp, second comp. And what this means is that these are dependencies or vendors or libraries that both of these components are using at the moment, right? So if I wanted to load this on a page, I gotta make sure that I put this in order. Okay, so right above in the script tag, I have to put in this vendors, right? And then put the little squiggly line there, right? And then we're gonna say vendors first comp, and then we're gonna come here and put in second comp. If not, it won't work. So I'm gonna try this with npm run watch just to show you guys. Okay, we're gonna go to localhost 3000. Okay, so currently everything is, as soon as you see the React loading up, so it means everything is working. Okay, if I was to just put in just like this, then it wouldn't work. You see, come here, console fail 404. So there you go. So that file doesn't exist no more, right? So you have to look at what you have, right? As far as your vendors, right? So you could have your vendors, first comp, second comp. Okay, now, and as you can see here, because we're only having the CSS being loaded, it creates a small little file for that vendor's styles. But like I said, since this thing already comes here and puts the styles.css, like we don't actually need to put that file of styles, well, vendors styles.js. So you don't have to load that, or at the same time you don't have to load the styles.js, because all you care about is your CSS. Now I'm gonna show you this. If I was to come here and let's say I'm not gonna do the styles.js, right? I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove this from here. Okay, save that, and then now I'm gonna take this import and I'm gonna put it inside of the first comp. Okay, I'm gonna come down here, put it here, import it. Okay, we did that, and then now let me see, where is it? This is the first comp. We gotta make sure we go back 2 times. So okay, so then now scroll down, do npm run watch, and so you can see how the files look different now. Okay, because when it comes to your CSS, you just have to load it at least once somewhere. Okay, so now as you can see, you'll see this thing. If we make this a little bit bigger, you'll see that now you have styles.css, right? Still loaded, right? But we only have vendors, first comp.js, and vendors, first comp, second comp. So basically, whatever styles we have for this, we're gonna get a vendor file for it. Okay, and this one, the second comp, since we're not loading it, we don't need it. Now if I was to paste it here and say like this, copy this, paste that. Okay, loading files. Okay, as you can see, we have first comp, second comp .js. Okay, so we both have that CSS, and that's why we have those two together. Okay, then we have first comp, second comp styles.css. Okay, and then we have second comp.js, and then we have vendors, first comp, second comp. Okay, so the vendors is what's coming from the node modules. Just want to put this out there. Whatever comes here from the node modules is what's being put inside of the vendors. Now, for some people, they might think it's a little bit complicated, but once you understand how things are being loaded, it's not going to be hard at all. Okay, right? Whatever you do with your CSS, don't worry about it. All you need to think about is that you need to load it at least in one JavaScript file for your Sass to be compiled, because that's how we're gonna get it inside of Webpack. Okay, so that's pretty much it. All right, guys. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna delete this from here. Save that. Okay, and pretty much that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, trust me, I save you guys so much time, because if not, you will have to do all of these things on your own. And even if you want to go and tweak this and change this around and make it your own, you could go ahead and do it. Okay, literally, this is just a starter kit. This is just to get you started and get you up and running. All right, guys, so I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye.